Let's get some more reaction now from different voices on the President's address this hour. Joining us now from KZN is Inkatha Freedom Party President Velenkosini Hlabisa. Thank you so much for your time this evening, sir. Your immediate reaction to the announcement by the President that the country is to move to adjusted level 2 of lockdown.
Good evening, together with the viewers of ENCA. The IFP welcomes the address by the President this evening, the relaxation of the regulations and the movement of the country from alert level 3 to alert level 2 is welcomed by the IFP, as it will allow the country to be more relaxed in moving forward into full capacity in as far as the activities and the economy is concerned. Of course, we are very concerned that the amount of vaccination in terms of response now is a presented challenge, especially amongst men, as we notice on a daily basis that the reports are saying men are very reluctant compared to women in taking the vaccination. It is now a responsibility of all of us as political parties, political leaders, to take the initiative. Firstly, leaders of political parties should show the way by demonstrating in leading the campaign of vaccination, they themselves to be vaccinated. I have done my vaccination. I took my first jab in June, the second jab in July. Wherever I get an opportunity to address the public, I do not conclude my address without encouraging people to go and vaccinate and tell them that I am a living witness. All the superstitions and false informations around vaccination are not true. The relaxation is going to allow us more political activities in terms of gatherings, as alert level 3 was more restrictive to 50 indoors and 100 outdoors. The 250 and 500 is going to allow us to reach more people, especially in rural areas where connectivity to use the modern ways is not always the case. You need physical meeting in order to talk to the voters.
And now, Mr. Hlabisa, just before we spoke to you, my colleague spoke to Professor Mahdi in the vaccinology department at Wits University, and he said he hoped that political parties, like you said, will be using their platform in the run-up to the elections to encourage people to get vaccinated. How important is it going to be for you and your team, especially at grassroots level, to bring that message across, while also, of course, talking about party politics and trying to get as many people to vote for your candidates as possible? How are you going to balance that when giving the marching orders to your workers on the ground as they go into the communities where information about COVID awareness really hasn't been what it should be at this stage?
In fact, the information on COVID-19 has been a package to our volunteers, because if our volunteers are not careful, they will place themselves at danger of being infected and eventually die, and also take the infection to the households they are visiting. That is why for all along we have been practicing the health protocol that our volunteers should carry along themselves the mask when they reach a family which is difficult to have its own mask. They will even leave the mask, not only to ask for a vote, and where need be, they also leave the sanitizers, so that we ensure that our campaign is coupled with the education around the issue of vaccination, the issue of COVID-19, because we need the voters. If the voters are sick, they will not be able to go to the voting station. If the voters die, they will not be able to cast their vote in our favor. Even now, we are encouraging our volunteers to be the first people who go and take vaccination so that they do not put themselves at danger. And whoever they come across on a door-to-door, on house meetings, they must encourage people and present themselves as people who have done vaccination and encourage people to do so and indicate the advantages and benefits of being vaccinated. So now it is the responsibility of all of us. I'm glad the government is now relaxing it, not monopolizing the issue of vaccination, allowing more private sectors to conduct vaccination, and then the leaders of political parties and all key stakeholders should be part and parcel in encouraging people to take vaccination. And I really want to commend our women in our country. Women have always been the spearheaders of development, as they have shown in the vaccination. And I want to encourage men. Let us take a good example from our women. Let us be responsible. The responsibility to prevent the spread of this pandemic is that all of us must be responsible. Vaccination places each and every one of us at an advantage. Even if you get infected, you won't get sick to an extent of being hospitalized or put into a ventilator or even die. That is the advantage that we must utilize as the people of South Africa to allow our country to eventually go to level 1 and have the full capacity of operations of all sectors of our economy and life in general.
Okay, thank you so much for that. The leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party, Velenkosini Hlabisa, joining us there from his base in KZN. We thank him for his time this evening, and it sounds like they very much have their act together in preparing their election workers to go and campaign during this time of a pandemic. Now, the latest